This is episode 15. There is no future. Well, saying there is no future is probably a little bit dramatic. Perhaps I should say, in English, there is no future tense. I'll write tense here to make it a little bit less dramatic. I mean, that still does contrast significantly with everything I was told at school. At school, I was told that will was our future tense. But now I know that's not quite true. Let me explain. Let's take a look at the sentence, she plays the piano. Oops, got it upside down here. Turn that round. There we go. Now, this simple sentence in present tense can be uttered for a number of purposes. One purpose is to express habit. She plays the piano every Tuesday. This simple sentence in present tense can also be used to give a commentary or direction. She plays the piano while you sing. This present tense can also be used for dramatic effect. And then she goes and plays the piano, even though I asked her not to. And finally, this simple sentence in present tense can be used to express the future. She plays the piano at the end of this speech. It won't be long now, please wait. So here, the present form of the verb is expressing future. It is true that we often use will when we talk about the future, but as we've seen, will is a modal auxiliary verb whose function is to show plausibility. But to be sure of this, I wrote a sentence to see if I could replace will with another modal auxiliary verb and to see if the sentence still does make sense. I've chosen the sentence, I will eat this fruit salad. I might change will to might. I might eat this fruit salad. Yep, still makes sense. The only difference is that will is more likely outcome rather than might. So let's look a bit more into will. How can will be used? Well, will can be used in the present tense. For example, she will have just finished about now. This is present prediction. Or, toucans will roll in a ball to sleep. Now this is also expressing habit. So here are two situations where will is not expressing future, but rather it's expressing the present. It's used to express habit, it's used to predict in the present. So according to this, we can come to the following conclusion. The certain future is expressed with present tense, but a prediction of a likely future outcome uses will. I'll say that again. The certain future is expressed with present tense, but a prediction of a likely future outcome uses will. Now, after graduating from university, I travelled all around the world, often teaching English as a second language in various language schools across the continents. In each setting, I was bound by the curriculum of the textbooks, but whenever it was time to address will as our future tense with my students, I hated teaching it so much. I always taught will without conviction, and I spent ages trying to figure out how it was different to the other modal verbs. What was it that made it special? What was it that made it our future tense? Well, now I know that will is not the future tense after all, but rather the most likely prediction for the future, and the certain future tense of English is expressed as the present. I wish that I had known that so clearly then. So we can now say that English has two tenses, a past tense and a non-past tense. Alright, so let's move on. We've covered lots about verbs now, lexical verbs, auxiliary verbs, modal auxiliary verbs, primary auxiliary verbs, and future tense or lack thereof. Next time I'm going to move on to verb phrases. So until then, thanks for watching The Language Code.